Hello, I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier, and welcome to Kaleidoscope, your window into the vibrant world of arts and culture in Harford County. Here, we celebrate the artists, performers, and organizers who bring creativity to life and help our community connect, grow, and thrive. Let's get started. The 57s Band is bringing people together through music that spans generations. Joining me in the studio to share the band's mission, the importance of shared songs, and the role faith and family have played along the way is Greg Mansberger, musician and educator. Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
And I remember you from way back when in your college days, so it's great to see you again. And you are busy making music, making life great for a lot of people.
Yeah, music is what I do every day of my life. So.
Okay. All right. So I gave a little sneak preview that you went to Towson, but tell us a little bit about your background.
I started as a musician probably around 4th grade. I kind of knew that's what I wanted to do. And then by the time I was in 8th grade, I had my own little rock band. And through high school, I was part of the, I did a marching band and concert band. Jazz band. By my 12th grade year, I was pretty much just doing music. Went to school for college for a jazz performance major, and through that time I was in rock bands and punk bands and all of that stuff.
You did it all.
And then somewhere around, I'm going to date myself, but somewhere around 1996, 97, I started to search more, figure out what my life was going to be about. And when I met my wife and I got married, music didn't have the same meaning to me anymore. I wanted it to mean something more than just performing for people.
Interesting.
So the idea of doing music that serves a purpose, that brings people together, became kind of my mission. And somewhere around the birth of my 2 middle sons, my music partner at the time, Bob, and I formed a children's music jam that was for families to sing together.
Oh, neat.
So parents and their kids would come and we would sing songs. We'd sing some gospel songs, children's songs, and maybe Yellow Submarine, fun sing-along songs. And the band kind of grew out of that naturally. Okay,
now it's an interesting name for your band.
Yes.
Can you explain how that happened?
Well, we both love Heinz ketchup so much. We put it on everything. Yes, we do. Heinz 57. No, the 57s was named kind of after the year 1957. I'm a huge Buddy Holly fan.
Oh, okay.
And 57 seemed like a good...
Yeah.
At the time, we also
Solid
thought
number.
maybe we'd have 57-year-olds at every gig, Because
But you have all ages,
We have
though.
all ages, but
Yeah.
so 57's just, we kind of fell on that name.
Okay, now, how many performances do you think you do in a year, and where do you perform?
Well, right now we're at about 53 performances a year, which is a lot for us. I think last year we did about 40.
Okay, wow.
But we are playing at retirement communities. That's kind of my new, last 2 or 3 years, I've gotten really into reaching out to retirement communities. It is such a beautiful experience to be singing, and everyone in the audience is singing along with us.
Yeah, and it's so appreciated, isn't it?
Yeah, so when we do a song like You Are My Sunshine, or there's so many different songs that we do at those communities, everyone sings along.
Oh, how
and
nice.
I can't think of another place where it's like a Pete Seeger concert. It's like everyone's singing along, and you'll actually hear people in the audience singing harmonies that we aren't singing.
Really?
Wow. Because a lot of them have come up singing in choirs.
Right.
And, I always I was like, whoever was singing harmony, thank you so much for singing along with us.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how your faith has kind of informed your music and also your relationships with your friends and your family.
Yeah. So when I became a Christian, that's when music started to mean something different to me. That I wasn't performing for selfish reasons anymore. I was a jazz performance major, and playing jazz, I just never felt like it was, nothing against jazz. I think people who really do it well are they can really express themselves. I don't think I was good enough as a jazz musician to express my beliefs.
I see.
In playing my guitar. But I had about a year after I became a Christian where I didn't know how to use music in my life. And so I wasn't in a band anymore because I didn't know how to do it. So after about a year, that's when I started to figure out. I became a worship leader. And then I had a lot of friends who were struggling just in day-to-day life things.
Yeah, right.
And I started to see, well, the only way I can use music, I mean, that's really the only gift that I have is music, that I can use that to bring us together. And I can just spending time sitting around a campfire playing songs, and you're just playing songs from our childhood, the 80s music or 70s music, was a great way to express ourselves.
So that kind of leads into my next question, that question about family music and also common songs in our community. I know that's really important to you.
Yeah, I'm a school teacher. I teach kindergarten through 8th grade in Towson, and I'm starting to realize that kids don't really know some of the songs that I know or that their grandparents know.
Yeah.
And songs, like Do, Re, Mi or something that we would all kind of know. The idea of children being able to sing along with their parents
and their grandparents
and their friends' families.
Yes, right.
I mean, I think everybody has songs that their family sings.
Okay.
But the thing that I'm seeing is that this family might not know the same songs as this family. When I was a kid, I think all of my friends, we all knew Home on the Range.
Yeah.
We all knew these songs
Old
that
MacDonald
we were taught.
had
Yeah,
a
Old
farm.
MacDonald. Everybody knew that. I'll bring up a song in class, and first graders will look at me like, I've never heard that song before.
Oh, really?
Well, they know it now because
Thank goodness
we
for
sing
you.
it.
All right. Well, I'm sure a lot of people watching want to get more information about you. So we're going to put up your website, right? They can get more information about you and also your performances.
Our calendar is there, and if you want to contact us, you can contact us through the website.
Terrific. Well, it's great to see you after all these years, Greg.
Thank you.
You're doing great work. Thank you so much for making our lives so rich with music.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Sure. Well, hidden among the scenic landscape of the Little Gunpowder Falls Valley is a place where Harford County's history comes alive. Historic Jerusalem Mill Village takes visitors back centuries, preserving a community that began before Harford County and even before the birth of our nation. We recently stopped by to learn more about this remarkable piece of Harford County history, so join us as we shine a light on Jerusalem Mill Village.
Jerusalem Mill Village is a 18th and 19th century village that was founded by a small group of Quakers that came down here from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, to take advantage of the water power that was available from the Little Gunpowder Falls. The mill itself was the centerpiece of the village, and the rest of the village grew around it as they added more activities and more skills and trade crafts. The village originally was the mill and one house that was built in 1769. That small house was also used at one time to make walnut gun stocks and assemble muskets for the Revolutionary War. And then later on, as the village grew, they added a blacksmith shop, a general store, a 20-room mansion. It even had its own post office and tenant house, and houses also one of the largest stone bank barns in the county. And the village happens to be the home of one of only 4 remaining covered bridges that are still in operation in this state. The village is owned by the state of Maryland, but because the state doesn't have either the financial or manpower resources to take care of the village, they lease most of the village to our all-volunteer, nonprofit, public charitable organization, and it is our mission, as it has been for the last 40 years, to continue to restore and preserve this village and make it available to the public.
I love volunteering at Jerusalem Mill. It is a very fun thing to do. I get to meet a lot of people from all walks of life and from different countries even. Before I started volunteering at Jerusalem Mill, I was not what I would consider a history buff. I really didn't even have much interest in it. But as soon as I began working here, it has become my passion.
So the village is open to the public from sunrise to sunset all year round. However, Some of the buildings are open to the public on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays from 1 to 4 when we do living history, whereby we will have period-attired historic interpreters demonstrating trades and crafts from the 1700s and 1800s. I personally think that the village is very significant to the United States because our research of over 7,200 mills has shown that this is the oldest, most intact mill village in the entire country. We have attracted visitors from every state in the United States and now up to 58 other countries.
Here in Jerusalem Mill, we offer several different events. First off, we have summer concerts, and they're on Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. Outside in the meadow, people just bring their folding chair or their beach chair and or a blanket, and they can bring snacks and they can bring their favorite beverages. We also have jousting events during the summer months. We have vintage baseball teams who come and play. It's called a match. It's not called a game. They call them matches, and they follow the rules of 1860s baseball. Throughout the year, we have teas. We have afternoon teas. I would call them high teas. And we have entertainment in the form of a lady who impersonates a historic figure.
So we invite schools from all over the area, and we educate somewhere between 600 and 800 students every year on what life was like in the 1700s and 1800s. We get some very interesting reactions from our visitors. Most of them are amazed, number one, that this village is so old and has lived largely intact since the 1700s. But they're also amazed that all of this work for the past 40 years has been done by a group of volunteers. Many of us that are retired and just want to volunteer our time because we believe it's important to preserve the history of the United States.
Well, we couldn't do it if we didn't have volunteers. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts. But in addition to volunteers, we also would like to thank our many sponsors and philanthropic organizations that so generously support the work here in the village.
Look for a special Shine a Light feature during every Kaleidoscope program. When we return, Chris Potts from the Historical Society of Harford County will be here. Stay tuned. It's an exciting time at the Historical Society of Harford County with a new museum, America 250 initiatives, and exhibits that highlight our community's rich heritage. Joining me with all the details is Chris Potts, Executive Director of the Historical Society of Harford County. Good to see you.
It's wonderful to be here.
Well, you must be exhausted and excited and everything, so I don't even know where to begin. Let's begin with the museum and the center.
The Harford History Museum is the culmination of years of development and dreaming and planning and curating, and it is open, and we are so excited, and we want people to come see it. We have displays, we have sort of mini exhibits, and over 32 topics and drawers of people, places, and instances that have spanned Harford history since, well, our oldest artifact is petroglyphs that are cave art, or no, actually rock art. That
Oh,
is,
really?
Yeah, that's so ancient we don't even really know
how
who
old
made
it
it. Yeah. So we have that up through political history, military history.
Wow.
Displays on colonial settlement, all the way up to the farm fair, which is happening right now.
Okay. Well, it's amazing. So who's doing all this work? Do you have a band of volunteers, or? It's terrific.
A combination of staff and volunteers who all work together, labor of love and devotion.
Yeah.
And the way in which the museum is designed, people can come in and they can get a taste of the showcase of all this rich history. And then we offer suggestions for learning more within our own research, resources in our own research library, or places they can go around the county, and brochures and things if you want to learn more about, farming history. Go to
It's right
Stepping
there.
Stone. Like, here it is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So this has been particularly maybe busy for you because of the 250th celebration. What's happening with that?
Well, for the 250th celebration, we have been working closely with our partners at the county to have a America 250 Harford County Committee that's been encouraging commemoration throughout the county. At the Historical Society, we've had lecture series, but our big project that was funded through the Maryland 250 Commission is Declaration 250, which is a public art exhibit on display now.
Yeah, we've been looking at some of these images. They're beautiful, and this is all artwork done by Harford County residents?
This was the, we did a call for artists. What we did was we took 7 key phrases from the Declaration of Independence and the civic concepts that they embody. Artists put forward their work.
Yeah.
And we now have 8 panels, blew that work up 5 by 9,
Wow.
8 panels spanning 8 pieces of fence behind our building. The introductory panel is was by a cartoonist who imagines the story of the Declaration arriving in Harford County.
Oh,
and
how exciting.
Yeah, so people get to engage and contemplate.
Okay, so they can go see that now.
That is on display. That's on Gordon Street. Right
Okay, now
behind
you
our
have what's
building.
called the Bald Friar coming up in August.
Bald Friar petroglyphs. That is one of our America 250 Speaker Series lectures by Dan Coates, who will give us a fresh interpretation of those ancient, that ancient cave art.
All right, and that's going to be at the Harford History Center. Then you have on the 23rd, Suffrage, a Family Affair.
Yes, and that lecture will be by Dr. Amy Rosencrantz at our Hayes House facility. We have 2 facilities.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Our Hayes House Museum is a living history museum right in front of Bel Air High School, and she'll be talking about the Kelly family of Bel Air, who were involved in the women's suffrage movement.
Okay, and that's they were the family of the Liriodendron.
They
right?
are.
Yeah, it's beautiful
That is
there
correct,
too.
yes.
Yeah, a lot of treasures in Harford County. Okay, something I know that you're very excited about is the motorcycle show and exhibit.
Yes, we're excited about this because it's going to be the first exhibit that we will have done, or we will be doing, on the history of sports in Harford County. And we're going to open this exhibit on August 29th with a motorcycle show, a bike show, so
Wow.
people can come. And the exhibit itself will have some antique bikes on display with artifacts and memorabilia telling, about the iconic races and racers. It will cover hill climb, motocross, and road racing.
Will you be participating in any of those?
I will be there for the bike show. I mean, we're very excited about this because, this is an outgrowth of the work that the Historical Society has been doing in establishing the Harford County Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, this is the third. We just inducted our 3rd class of athletes and coaches as part of that
Terrific.
Hall of Fame. Yeah, and we want people to go to our website and nominate those standout athletes and coaches that they know about in their own experience.
Okay. All right. Then finally in September, there's the Martha and George, a love story. Tell me about that.
Martha and George Washington will be coming to the Harford History Center to talk about their relationship. These are professional historical interpreters, and again, this just sort of shows the variety of the programming that we have at the Harford History Center. So.
Well, because you have a beautiful flyer here. I can't get quite show it to you, but it's a beautiful flyer. There you go. And it has the two actors, Elisa Dupuy, and then a Mr. Radaball, I believe, Kurt Radaball, and you say they're terrific.
Certainly, we have had Elise come, and she has performed for us in the past, and people loved her performances, so can't wait to see how she brings Martha Washington to life.
All right, so with all that you have going on, where should people go to see all these different events?
Go to our website, www.harfordhistory.org, and there they can browse and explore and join us.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. You are one busy lady, I got to say. It's great. It's great. So there is more to come on Kaleidoscope, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. As the government-appointed local arts agency, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board is the primary local resource for arts organizations, for artists, and for you, our county residents. The board's mission is to preserve, enhance, and promote the culture of Harford County, Maryland. This August, the Cultural Arts Board is proud to launch a new traveling photography exhibit in partnership with the Harford County Public Library and the Harford County Photography Group. The exhibit brings award-winning local photography to 7 library branches, making the arts more accessible to residents across Harford County. Featuring winning images from the Harford County Photography Group's annual competition, the exhibit explores 3 themes: motion, long exposure and bright lights, and tell me a story. The exhibit opens at the Bel Air Library on August 10th, then travels throughout the county through April 2027. Participating libraries include Havre de Grace, Norrisville, Abingdon, Aberdeen, Jarrettsville, and Joppa. Visitors can also enjoy free photography programs at select branches, including artist talks, composition workshops, and complimentary professional headshots. Learn more at culturalartsboard.org and hcplonline.org. The Cultural Arts Board is also accepting applications for the Access Arts Grant Program with rolling deadlines through February 16, 2027. These grants bring meaningful arts and cultural experiences to Harford County youth, older adults, and individuals with disabilities. Funding can support artist-in-residence programs, performances, museum and historic site visits, and other enriching on- and off-site cultural opportunities. We encourage eligible organizations to apply early, as applications are reviewed on a rolling basis and funding is awarded until available funds are exhausted. Learn more about the requirements for the Access Arts Grant Program at culturalartsboard.org. For questions or application support, contact Meg McReynolds, Harford County Cultural Arts Board Coordinator. And that's a wrap for this edition of Kaleidoscope, produced in partnership with the Cultural Arts Board of Harford County and aired exclusively on Harford TV. Until next time, keep supporting the arts. I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier.